Hello and welcome to Voices of the Voiceless, Speak Your Truth. This is a platform where we can talk about the most controversial and suppressed issues and bring them to light. So today I have a guest with me, Michelle, and we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about vaccinations and why some people vaccinate, and basically we're just going to see where this conversation goes. So I'll hand over to Michelle now so she can introduce herself.
Awesome, thank you. As already said, my name is Michelle. I actually work as a birth doula, so I'm often around families which, you know, when you're having babies, obviously the decision of whether to vaccinate or not comes up. For me, it's hard. I constantly feel torn. I try and look at the vaccine issue from both sides of the fence because I want to understand why people would choose to vaccinate, and I want to understand why people would choose not to. Personally, I choose not to. But I guess when you're working in that role, I mean, you can't have a go at someone or sort of... it can be a very confronting issue with someone if they're very pro-vaccination, yeah?
Yeah.
So, look, I've read lots on vaccines. I've watched, there's Vaccines Revealed, which is amazing. There's The Truth About Vaccines. There's a lot online. There's a lot of parents talking about it. And I've gone into looking into the pro side and the anti side, if you want to call it that. And I can't see why anyone would want to vaccinate. And I think most of it is very fear-based. What worries me the most is that most of us, and I'm not, I don't want anyone to get offended. I'm not trying to diss them as a parent or anything like that, but most people aren't understanding what an immune system is. They're not understanding how to build a baby's immunity and things like that. And I think that parents that choose to vaccinate, they feel they're protecting their baby. When in actual fact, if we educated people properly,
Yep.
They may realise that that's not so much the case.
Mm-hmm.
Vaccinations, I mean, look at the media, it's flooding the media. They're trying to scare us with measles outbreaks and whooping cough and things like that. And I mean, they're viruses, for starters. You can't take antibiotics. You can't do anything for a virus. A virus, it's all about the host. It's all about the body. They're smart. If the host isn't healthy, the virus is going to find somewhere to live. So vaccinations really have nothing to do with anything. Especially with whooping cough, we've got, 14 strains, maybe more. And if somebody's been vaccinated and they start getting a cough and they go to the doctor, then they're just told that their baby's got croup. So, if you haven't been vaccinated, then you're automatically told that you've got whooping cough, yeah? I don't really know where I was going with all of that.
Right. So I'm just curious, because you were talking a little bit about what an immune system is. Would you be able to give us a bit more information about what it is and how to build it up?
Yep, sure. So I guess I can share what I know.
Yep.
Obviously I'm not, I haven't done any specific study or anything like this. It's just all self-taught. So I guess we're learning a lot about gut health today. We know that gut health has a huge impact on a lot of diseases and things like that are happening in the body. And we've got all these scientific advancements and, we can fly to the moon and do all these sorts of things, but when it comes to looking inside the body, we don't really know much. And we're only just starting to look inwards scientifically, yeah? I guess also I look at the body as it's a living organism. So we need to be putting life into life to help life thrive. So we're eating a lot of foodless foods, lifeless drinks, and I think, that's just really common sense. when it comes to building immunity. If we're going to be putting dead food into a live body, well then that's already going to be lowering an immune system. Unfortunately, a lot of children today, and even parents, we're not reaching for the healthy foods anymore. We're kind of getting busy. We're grabbing the packaged foods. We're getting too stressed out to keep up with breastfeeding. This all comes down to support and community as well. It's not so much an isolated issue. But I think vaccines, I mean, it's such a broad topic. It's not just do I vaccinate or don't I vaccinate? It's actually what lifestyle you want to choose. How can we support parents to live healthy lifestyles so they don't have to fear disease? I think learning a lot about diseases and what that really means as well. Like, nobody's really going to die from whooping cough. I mean, again, I'm probably going to get backlash from that because people say babies have, and look, I totally believe that, but I think there's a bigger picture to it. It's not just that they got whooping cough. There's going to be so many more factors that come into that. The same with the measles. I mean, chicken pox. Who's died from chicken pox? And then I actually don't know anyone that's died from chicken pox. There probably is. So why are we vaccinating against that? Now we're getting more cases of, is it the measles?
Measles.
I'm trying to think of if you're not immune to the chicken pox or you've had the chicken pox. Shingles, that's the one.
It's an adult.
Because we're not being exposed to the younger ones getting the chicken pox, so our immunity is actually getting lower now due to all these vaccines. So now we're seeing more shingles. So what did they do? They brought out the shingles vaccine, and it's just crazy. How many chemicals do we want to be injecting into our body just to say that we're healthy? Look around. Are we healthy? Like, really? With all this, cancer research and all this, well, apparently vaccine research and all these things we're doing to save people, we're the sickest we've ever been. So, I don't like seeing the conflict between pro and anti-vaxxers. I think there's issues, and personally I've been through it, where we don't actually see family now, and a lot of it's to do with this whole vaccine issue. People get so stuck on, and might be sounding a bit biased because I did say I don't vaccinate, but I am finding that the pro-vaxxers are the ones that don't want to open their eyes the most. I actually find that most people that don't vaccinate are really willing to open up, share what they're doing instead, share why they don't want to, share who they know that's been vaccine injured and things like that, whereas the pro-vaxxers just don't want to see it. They don't want to see all these autistic kids that are suddenly appearing everywhere. They don't want to see that their child's got a speech delay and that they've been vaccinating, they've been following this schedule. Could this have something to do with it? Because I don't believe it's normal. You look back at a lot of older cultures, call them ancestors, whatever that you will, they're healthy. Most of them live, they eat the food that's in season, they more live off the land, they don't make foods in factories, they don't add chemicals into things, they're not injecting medicines into their body, they're not taking medicines, and they don't have all these diseases that we do. They also don't fear disease the way that we do. So I guess you have to ask, like, how much of this is conditioning?
Thank you for sharing that. I really like how you identify this as a broader issue. I think a lot of people don't see that. So I am curious. Instead of looking to modern medicine, if your kids do become sick, what would you use as an alternative?
Yeah, awesome. Great question. Love it. Well, look, to me, we've got lots and lots on the internet about prevention, how we prevent cancer, how we prevent this, how we prevent that. If it prevents it, it means it doesn't cause it, which to me, that's the cure. Yeah? Obviously, prevention or cure is going to be better than actually dealing with something when you've already got it. Yeah? So one of my passions is definitely whole foods and healthy eating, and trying to bring that into you know, mothers that are pregnant, mothers that are about to have babies, you know, trying to teach them some really easy, quick, healthy snacks, because if we're eating life foods instead of lifeless foods, we're going to have more energy, we're going to feel better, we're going to get out and walk. I think the mind and how we're thinking has a huge impact on our immunity and how we're feeling too. Having positive relationships, having supportive relationships. If you're living out all of these things, if you're getting sunshine, you're drinking water, you're eating life foods, you've got happy relationships, you're doing things that make you feel passionate, you're not going to get sick. And look at the people that are already doing it. That's what I like to do. There are lots and lots of people that you can follow now. I'm a huge Don Tolman and Tyler Tolman fan. I think they've got the whole package when it comes to eating healthy. They've got lots of free information online. They travel around. They do lots of free talks. Years of experience. They've helped thousands, if not more, you know, people. And, you know, Don Tolman's in his 70s. He's never been sick. He's never been to a doctor. So for me, hearing what he has to say, it works. He's a living proof, yeah. Personally, I've been living this lifestyle now for over 5 years. None of my kids have been unwell. I don't have Panadol in my fridge. We don't have any medicines or anything in my house. We don't need it. If one of my child, if I found they were getting a little bit run down, rest. Number one, rest. The body knows how to heal itself. So if you can get them to rest and send them to bed earlier and let them sleep in instead of dragging them off to school or whatever else, again, looking at the lifestyle, you're fine. It won't progress into something else. If it does progress into something, so say they're getting a bit of this, you know, this cough, it's sounding a bit hoopy, and you start to stress, you can cut up a raw onion and sit that in each room of the house. Okay, onions draw in all the bacteria and all the chemicals and all the crap that could be in the air that's causing it. You can even put some of that, chop it up and put it on your child's chest. Vitamin C, I'm not a fan of supplements, but get yourself a good juicer. Juice them some orange juice, put some capsicum in it, you know. Again, Google what's got vitamin C in it. Give them a good hit of that food. If you can, juice it so that their body can drink it and then it's not busy digesting and it has more time to heal the body. Personally, I don't think we actually need to do anything to heal the body, and I think this is a perception that maybe if we could get people to see, then we would see vaccines in a bit of a different light. The body heals itself. It's up to us whether we want to support it or whether we don't want to support it. It's the same as a car. You've got a car, the engine runs itself, we don't really do anything. We get in, we start the key and we drive it around. You don't service your car and you drive it around, you thrash it around, your car's not going to run well. It's the same with the body. But if you service your car, you give it what it needs, clean oil, you know, the simple things, parking in a garage even, look at the longevity and the health of that car, Our body's no different. It's our vehicle. So we need to be putting the right fuel in. We need to be not burning ourselves out and not stressing and, you know. So I guess when the more you start looking into life from that holistic approach, for me, the more and more I question, well, what has vaccines got to do with anything? I don't believe they're preventing disease. If they were, we'd have a healthy world. So that is one aspect we've got to look at. I'm not going to go into the whole argument of like vaccines cured polio and, you know, if we don't vaccinate, measles are going to come back or whatever. I think there's been enough said about all of that stuff. And I think it's a really old and outdated argument now. I think we need to be looking at it from a new approach, looking at it from the new paradigm approach. Understand that vaccines came out how many years ago and what did we understand about health all the way back then when it first came out. They didn't really understand gut health, and that's just one aspect of it. So how are the vaccines affecting our gut? And if we're learning lots about gut health makes a healthy body, you know, particularly for a baby. There's a great movie called Microbirth, which talks about seeding. So if you have a C-section, you can do seeding for the baby, which is, it'll gross some people out, but you put a gauze in the mother's vagina so that you get all of her good